Hello my loves, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is your girl Kensthetic with the Kensthetics, and I'm here with you guys today with a new video. I told you guys that I was on a very strict budget for June, but technically I made these purchases in May, okay? In today's video, I want to sit here and share my two new camera babies. In case you guys don't know, I'm obsessed with cameras. Like, I don't know what it is, but I love photography, I love cameras, and I'm always looking to build my collection. But this time around, we bought some digital cameras. So these are my first digital camera purchases in my adult life. I've owned digital cameras in my childhood, but my dad purchased them for me. So this is my first like big girl digital camera purchase haul. And I'm really excited to share these items with you guys. I still have my digital camera from childhood. So when I go back to New York and I'm able to find it, I'll do a separate video sharing content on that camera. But in this video, we'll focus on my two new digital cameras. So if you guys are interested in hearing more about my digital cameras, how I purchased them, tips on how you can purchase digital cameras if you guys are in the market for some right now, then go ahead and keep on watching. Before we get started with today's video, make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that red subscribe button down below and join the family because we are growing and glowing. And I would hate for you guys to miss out. So go ahead and subscribe, turn on your bell notifications, give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy, drop a comment down below after you watch this entire video with your thoughts, comments, questions. Leave them down below. I'll be sure to respond. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So before we get started with today's video, I did want to address today's look because I look good. Okay, I look good, I smell good, I am good, and yeah, so my hair, I put it up in a bun. My braids are pretty old. I've had them in for 5 going on 6 weeks now, and they still look good. So if you guys want more details on this hair, I will link that maintenance vlog up above. They were done by my sister, hairby_Kimmy on Instagram. She's based in New York as well as Philadelphia, and she gets busy with the braids, okay? So hair is up in a bun, and I put my little parsley things down to, you know, just give it a little zhuzh. My earrings are coming from Marshalls. They're these hoops with butterflies on them. I recently purchased them, and I am obsessed. These remind me, I don't know if you guys used to watch Basketball Wives back in the day. I don't know if she still has her brand, but Evelyn Lozada, she used to sell some fire hoop earrings, but these gave me that like nostalgic vibe. Obsessed. My choker necklace is from Forever 21. My initial necklace is from Nordstrom. I will link it down below. Absolutely love it. I've had it for years and it hasn't tarnished at all. And this green bodysuit is from Naked Wardrobe. It's from years ago, so I don't even think they have this color anymore. But that is today's look. Let's go ahead and get into the video. So I want to start off by giving you guys details on how to purchase, because I feel like that is the probably most asked question right now. You know, people are like, I want a digital camera. Where do I start? I got y'all. So digital cameras are very trendy right now. So if you were in the market for digital cameras back in the day, and when I say back in the day, I mean like a year or two ago, they were way cheaper than they are right now in pricing, because TikTok just makes the price of everything go up, right? So everybody's searching for digital cameras right now. Everybody's in the market for vintage digital cameras, and it is kind of hard to get one if you aren't willing to spend that much money. But I got y'all with some tips, okay? So if you guys are looking to buy a digital camera, where should you look to purchase? First stop, thrift stores. Thrift stores have digital cameras, and I feel like people sleep on the technology or the device section of thrift shops, but you need to be looking at your local thrift shops. The only thing about looking at thrift shops, depending on the shop, is that you may not have a way to test the camera before you purchase it. So that may be a little tricky, but for the most part, the price is so low that if the camera turns out to not work, it's not like you spent hundreds of dollars and, you know, it's not working. You probably spent like $10 or $20 and it's not working. So that's the only thing with purchasing from thrift shops. Second thing is online auctions. So you can check out eBay, you can check out Mercari. I got mine from eBay online auction, but eBay and Mercari are the options that I have. If you guys know any other online auctions, comment down below and let us know where we can get digital cameras, because I'm still shopping. But some things I want to say when it comes to buying digital cameras online or from online auctions is you always want to make sure that the camera states that it's tested and that it powers on, because that is probably the most missed out on detail, if that makes sense. Like, you want to make sure it turns on, you want to make sure it operates. You don't want to just buy a camera to buy the camera and then figure out it doesn't work when you get it. A lot of online sellers will say whether it has been tested or not, or whether they are not able to test it, either because it doesn't have a battery or doesn't have the charging cable cord. But you want to make sure that whatever listing you're looking at when it comes to online auctions, that the seller specifies it is able to power on, it's able to charge, or whatever they specify. Make sure it says that, and if it doesn't state that, you can message them to ask them. Also, I would say go into your search with ideas of what you want or what you're looking for, because if not, you're gonna get overwhelmed. We'll get into my cameras in a second, but before I purchased my cameras, I was on TikTok and I was looking like, okay, let me see what digital cameras are out there. Let me see what brands, let me see what models, let me see what years, and let me see examples of pictures that people took on that digital camera. Pictures of like things like landscape photos, but also portraits, because I'm gonna be taking pictures of myself. Like, are you stupid? So I wanted to make sure I did enough research to see that the cameras that I was gonna get do a great job taking pictures of like things like views, you know, landscapes, flowers, buildings, whatever. But also it has to be able to take great photos of me too, because duh. So those are some tips that I have when it comes to purchasing digital cameras, where you guys should look, what you guys should be looking for. Make sure you go into the search having an idea of what you want, because it will make things 10 times easier. Moving along to the haul of my cameras. As I mentioned, I purchased both of my cameras from online auctions, eBay, and when I tell you guys, I was literally like locked in for 24 hours looking at auctions, seeing what was ending soon, X, Y, and Z. But I knew what I wanted, so it just made it easier. So let me show you guys my cameras. So my first baby is my Nikon Coolpix S4000. So this was not the initial camera I wanted. The initial camera I wanted was a Nikon Coolpix S4100. And I saw tons of videos on that camera. It's basically, I think, like 1 year older than this one. So I was not able to find a Nikon Coolpix S4100 while I was looking. But I came across this camera and I'm like, it's hard, or it's less likely that you're going to find a black digital camera that basically looks like brand new. Like, I don't know if you guys could see, but this doesn't have like any scratches or signs of wear on it. So when I was looking at the photos, I'm just like, I would be a fool to like not purchase this. Like, hello? Hello? So I went ahead and purchased this. It powers on, and it did note that in the description on the website. And also it came with accessories. So it came with a camera bag, and it also came with a battery as well as the cord to charge this camera. So I literally have everything that I need. The only thing it didn't come with is a memory card, and we're gonna get into that in a few. But it powers on. It's so cute and small, so it could fit in almost every bag. And it's just like, it's just, oh, it just died. But I have thoughts on this camera right here. But first, let me tell you guys about the memory card before I forget. So this camera opens at the bottom. So you have to slide this out, and then you can see the battery as well as the memory card slot. I have multiple memory cards, because if you guys are new here, if you guys, you know, have found your way to an amazing place on Beyonce's internet, I produce a lot of content. I take a lot of photos, I vlog, I make sit-down videos like this one that you guys are watching right now. So I have tons of memory cards. So when this camera came, I said, okay, bet I could just pull one of my memory cards that I previously have, throw it in here, and it should be able to work. I tried 3 or 4 memory cards, and it kept saying that the memory card wasn't supported. So I was like, oh crap, like what does this mean? Is it messed up? But as I mentioned, this camera literally came looking brand spanking new. So I went on eBay and I found a listing for this camera, this Nikon Coolpix S4000. And I found a listing that included a memory card, because some people will sell you the camera with all types of accessories, including a memory card. And I compared the memory cards that people had in their listings and found a trend that a lot of people provided a specific memory card for the camera. So I went on Amazon and I found the memory card and I purchased it. So this is one of the memory cards that a lot of people were selling the camera with. I will link it down below, but it's this memory card. And I believe the listing on Amazon specified that this memory card is for like digital cameras. So even if you don't get this digital camera, this memory card is great for digital cameras. I think the problem with my previous memory cards, when I was thinking about it, might have been that those memory cards are already like formatted for Sony cameras or formatted for Canon cameras, or the file type where this camera was like, you already started using it, you can't backpedal. Like, you cannot backpedal. Because also when I looked on TikTok, I was in the comments of videos and a lot of people were asking, what SD card do you use? And a lot of people said the memory card that I had, which is a SanDisk. So I'm like, why am I not working? And it's probably because I previously used it in other devices. And this specific camera, given that it's so old, I think this camera came out in either 2000 or 2004. So baby, she got some miles on her. Make sure you get the specific memory card if you guys get this camera, or if you guys are having trouble with your digital camera when it comes to memory cards. The link will be down below for the one that I purchased. So my overall first impressions of this camera right here is I love the size. It's super small, can fit in almost all of my purses. You know, you could put the wrist strap on so you don't always have to dig in your bag for it. I do want to get some cute like charm wristlets because I just feel like that's the vibe, like the little Y2K vibe for the digital cameras. But I do want to replace this lanyard. This came with the camera, so it's another accessory that they did include. But I do want to get a cute one. But this camera is small. I also like how you have the capability to zoom in and out on this Nikon Coolpix. And also there's an option in the settings if you want the time and date to be printed on the photo. So it really gives like that vintage, nostalgic digital camera type of feel. I absolutely love that about this camera. I will say, however, I don't know if it's because I haven't played around with it as much yet, but the focus on this camera is a little iffy. I will insert some photos that I took on this camera so you guys can get a sense of how it shoots, but I also haven't tried shooting with it outside of the house. So I definitely want to take her on a little camera tour, probably on like a hike or something, so that I can see how she performs outdoors. But as far as indoors, which is the only place I have tried this camera so far, I'm not really in love with the focus. Like, I needed to focus on me as soon as my eyelash pops up in the camera. Like, don't make me have to wait too long, babes, because I get impatient very quickly. So the autofocus on this camera isn't the best. And as I mentioned, it literally came looking brand new. Like, I cannot find one scratch on this camera. It looks like somebody just had this in their house or found it in their grandparents' house or their mom's house and was just like, let me just sell this to make some money real quick. It literally came looking brand new. So I can't imagine that, you know, somebody used it for a while and the autofocus is tired. Like, nobody ever used her. She looks brand new. So what you mean the autofocus isn't working? So it may just be a general thing with this camera right here. So if you guys are looking for a Nikon Coolpix camera, I would recommend going to volumes higher than this one. So as I mentioned, this is a Nikon Coolpix S4000. So for instance, if you guys find a Nikon Coolpix S3600, I wouldn't recommend it because I feel like the autofocus just probably wasn't that great at the time. Remember that technology advances throughout the years, and back in the day, they probably didn't have the same technology to give us the autofocus that a camera like this got. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys want a Nikon Coolpix, definitely go above the S4000 model. That is just my honest review and opinion. I still have to play around with her, and if you guys have any tips or tricks on how I can work around the autofocus of this camera or how I should be using it correctly, please comment and let your girl know, because right now I am struggling and I'm like, this is literally the perfect size camera to bring outside the summertime and the autofocus isn't giving what it's supposed to give. I'm a little sad, but I also didn't pay much for this camera, so I'm not too mad about it. But that's what I'm saying, like, if you don't pay that much for a camera and things don't work out the way you wanted to, because I also feel like there aren't much reviews on digital cameras on social media, since one, people are just now getting back into it, and two, reviews from back in the day, they're not the same as reviews nowadays. So that's why I was like, let me sit down and show you guys these cameras and future ones that I purchased, so you guys can have a reference point of, I want a digital camera, it's Kensthetic approved or it isn't Kensthetic approved, let us see, and you can go from there. But when it comes to Nikon Coolpix, this S4000, I honestly don't think it's Kensthetic approved as of right now, but this is just my first impressions, so do not hold me to it. If I have any updates on this camera, I will share it in future videos or in my vlogs, so make sure you guys are tuned into my YouTube channel. On the contrary, I got this digital camera, and when I tell you guys I'm obsessed, like, Nikon did not have to snap like this, but they did, okay? This camera right here, when I tell you guys, I am not leaving this house, my house, Casa Kensthetic, this summertime without this camera. This is the Nikon Coolpix L830. First of all, the color of this camera, The color, do you guys see this sexy red? Come on, come on. Once again, this came from the same seller as my previous camera, and it looks like untouched. Like, find one scratch because I can't. Find one imperfection because I can't. So this camera also came with accessories as well. It came with a camera bag, it came with a camera lanyard, and it didn't come with a battery though, because on this camera, on like the L series Nikon Coolpixes, they require AA batteries. So I just popped in 4 new AA batteries and I was all set. And then you guys can see the memory card slot is right here. I will say that I'm not sure if the L series is like more updated than the S series, but the L series was able to use one of my own memory cards. So I'm not sure of the difference between the formation of memory cards between these two types of cameras, but I did use a used memory card in this Coolpix L830. This camera is larger than my mini Coolpix. This is way larger, y'all can see, which means, you know, a little heavier as well, but it's okay because, baby, when I tell you the quality of pictures on this camera, baby, this summertime, if I tell you pull up and let's take a picture, just know it's going to eat, okay? So this camera, oh, I didn't tell you guys, this camera has a built-in flash. It's right here on the face of the camera. You can see it right here. Flash in this Nikon sits on top of the camera. Like, oh my God, it is so freaking good. So this camera right here is more like in line with my big body cameras, because as soon as I got it, I'm like, bet I could adjust the ISO, I could do this, I could do that. Like, oh, the pictures on this camera just eat. And the audio quality, because I did record like a sample video on this, it eats. I need to record some TikToks on here because grill. I want to do a day in a life vlog on this camera for you guys to see how amazing it is, because, baby, like, hold on, let's take a photo real quick. Let's take a photo real quick. This camera does have zoom capability, and the zoom is crazy. So this is it all the way zoomed out, and then I'm going to zoom in as much as I can. Baby, in my pores is wild. In my pores is absolutely wild, but I love it. I love it. So let's take a picture real quick so you guys can see. And look, like the quality, hold on, it gotta focus. Wow, I'm pretty, but like this picture, the quality on this camera, yes, 10 out of 10. Recommend. So this is, once again, the Nikon Coolpix L830, and I actually found both of these camera recommendations from this young lady on TikTok. Her name is Jackie. I'll put her exact TikTok name on the screen, but she's actually based in Houston, Texas. She's so beautiful, and she does reviews on digital cameras. So she just buys digital cameras. Like, she has a whole collection. I pray to be like that one day, but as of right now, my pockets are not, we're not on that level. Okay, I'll probably buy like 1 or 2 more for now, but she has a ton of digital cameras, and she does reviews. She shows you how the video quality is, how the photo quality is, flash, no flash. She does all of that on her TikTok. So if you guys are like, I don't know even where to start with looking for digital cameras, check out her TikTok channel or her TikTok profile, because she has a whole playlist of like digital camera content. Highly recommend, and she helped a lot with my purchase. So one of her favorite cameras in her collection is actually a Nikon Coolpix L810, I believe. So this is the L830. So I didn't know we did that. So this one is a little bit more advanced than the model that she has. But when I saw this color, because hers is black, I saw the red, I was like, oh yes, I absolutely need this right now. I will go ahead and put some pictures on the screen that I've taken with this Nikon Coolpix 830 so you guys can get a sense of what the photo quality gives. With baby, I'm telling you guys right now, I'm gonna say it again, I am not leaving my house without this camera this summer because it is just so good. As I mentioned, the weight of it is a little bit more than my Nikon Coolpix S4000, but I'm not mad at carrying the extra load because I know the quality of the pictures is going to eat. Like, it's going to eat, so I'm not even mad at it. This Nikon Coolpix, my friends, she is Kensthetic approved. She is Kensthetic approved all the way. Like, I am literally obsessed. Like, all the time now, I'm like, ditch the iPhone selfies. I'm taking selfies on this Nikon camera because the quality, y'all seen it. Y'all seen it. Y'all seen the greatness. So y'all already know what it's hitting for. Like, I am literally obsessed. So I'm sure you guys are watching this video and you're like, girl, how much did you pay for these cameras? Because, you know, you got two. Like, you didn't get just one, you got two. How much did you pay? So as I mentioned, both of these cameras came from the same seller, and I was able to purchase both of them for $150, including shipping. Yeah, $150 for two cameras that literally look brand new off of eBay online auction. I'm telling you guys right now, if you guys are not stalking eBay with whatever you want, you're not serious about getting a camera. I know some people are going to be in the comments like, oh my God, I've been looking for so long. You have to stalk eBay to find what you want. You have to know what you want and then stalk eBay to find what you want. So I'm really happy with this purchase. $150 for two cameras that are literally brand new. Not bad at all. I do want to learn more about using this Nikon Coolpix S4000. And once I learn it a little bit more, then I feel like I'll be more comfortable and confident with this purchase. But this camera right here makes up for it so much. So I'm not too mad, but I do want to use this because the size of it is just perfect for the summertime. But either way, $150 for two cameras is not bad at all. Comment and let me know what you guys think of the price. But yes, eBay online auction is where you need to be looking if you are looking for a digital camera. There are some available on Amazon, but those prices are set, so it's not an auction. And they're pretty expensive. So I wouldn't recommend spending all of that money when there's an option to spend less. You know what I'm saying? So I really hope this video helped, whether you guys are looking for digital cameras, whether you guys are like, what digital camera should I be looking for? My digital camera isn't working. Hopefully some of these tips and tricks that I shared with you guys help. If you guys want a part 2, we can definitely do a part 2 type thing. I definitely want to give you guys that day in the life vlog on my big body Nikon digital camera, so that is coming on my YouTube channel very soon, so make sure you guys stay tuned. Comment and let me know what other questions you guys have. I will respond to the comments, but I'll also take those comments into consideration for future videos. So I would really love your feedback and questions down below in the comments. I love you guys so much. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to my channel, and drop a comment. And until my next video, I'll see you guys later.